Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the Marvel vs. Capcom 4 leak, which leaks 21 Marvel characters and 21 Capcom characters. I think we can go through the list to see if it's any good, because obviously, as the biggest Marvel fan in the world, that's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I have an input and an insight as to what would make a good roster for a new game, which needs to happen. Street Fighter 6 is nice, I guess, but I mean, I'm looking at some of the characters like Marisa. Oh my god, what is this? Her hair looks like a helmet. She's big and muscular, and there's nothing sexy about it. You compare her with the likes of freaking Cammy. I mean, look at that. Oof. The fact that Marisa is in this game and is clearly trying to appeal to some kind of inclusivity agenda just writes SF6 off for me. I don't know. But this video is not about SF6. This is about Marvel 4. Obviously, the tradition in any Marvel video after 2017 is to shit on Infinite for a little bit. So let's do that. Good gameplay. Terrible graphics. The story mode, I personally blame Angry Joe for MVCI's failure in terms of the story mode, because his main criticism of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 back in 2011 was that it didn't have a story mode the same way MK had a story mode. Nobody cares. It's too many characters to have even a remotely coherent story mode. These are characters from different universes. These are characters from different games. It's difficult to make a cohesive story mode. The story mode was, I guess, okay. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. It had some very good moments.
Please! The humans are
not... They're the cattle on which we feed. This is merely a culling of the herd.
You will endure the suffering of everyone.
Endure it? I will savor it.
But it was all destroyed by the terrible graphics. I mean, it was just completely unfinished. My main problem was, if you look at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you had 4 intros, 4 very well produced, CG intros, right? You had the first one with Morrigan fighting Iron Man, Dante fighting Deadpool, but you had those 4 intros where you see Hulk finally teaming up with Chris, X-23 fighting Magneto, Arthur. Then you had Thor against Dormammu, which was probably the most epic out of all of them. Then you had Dr. Doom fighting with Trish, Skrull fighting with Chun-Li, and when Super Skrull, flung the helicopter at Captain America and he just stood there like a fucking G and he blocked the whole thing. That's what we want. So MVCI starts with something similar, right? You had Ryu and X fighting against Iron Man and Captain Marvel. Excellent. I thought it was nice. Okay, Power Stone. Ryu activates the Power Stone. They start fighting. Captain Marvel activates the Time Stone. She starts speeding around. Okay, excellent. They released that and I was hyped. Why didn't they make more videos with more stones and more characters? Why? That is a very important point that I think nobody has raised. I'm the only one who's raising it. So I think that, my angle is a bit different. Nobody ever raised that question. How come a game that has 6 stones, you don't make videos showing off the stones in that same cinematic format, that same, action sequence, show new characters, So, MVCI, the fact that there was no Wesker, there was no Virgil, there was no Dr. Doom, come on. You can't do that. You must have Dr. Doom in your game. He is probably the quintessential villain. There was no need for Spencer, no need for Firebrand. Honestly, even Arthur at this point, no need for him. I like the partnership of Gomorrah and Strider in the story. Fighting Grandmaster Mayo, fine, excellent. I like the fact that there were villains that were not playable, like MODOK. You know, yes, you don't really need MODOK in your game, even though, I may offend some people, but very good character in Ultimate. I like the new additions of Winter Soldier, Sigma, excellent. Those guys, they make the game worth playing. Black Panther is also a good addition. Venom, yeah, he didn't have the same swag as it did, the same gravitas as it did in MVC1, but it was nice to see him back, I guess. Monster Hunter, very good addition. So I think they could have done a bit more with the character selection. The game ended up with 36 characters. Loved, obviously, the Battle for the Stones tournament. Excellent. The community really pulled together to make the best out of it. And for me, that was a great moment, having the Evo champions come back to fight in this awesome tournament with, you know, actual stones that players were able to use. Honestly, I don't think there was anything more genius than that. So, as much as people love to hate on Infinite, Infinite wasn't a total dud. Like, that's a complete conspiracy. Infinite was okay. Battle for the Stones, complete highlight. And Knives really pulled up in for MVCI. So it had a lot of memories. F-Champ too came through with his Dormammu Ultron team. Excellent. Especially before the patch where you had the Rose Garden combos. Excellent. The leak says that there are going to be 42 characters, 21 Marvel, 21 Capcom. This is the list of the Marvel characters. We have Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, Mr. Fantastic, Daredevil, Black Panther, Star-Lord, Captain Marvel, Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Deadpool, Juggernaut, Magneto, Venom, Red Skull, Loki, Doctor Doom, and Thanos. It's actually quite interesting. Sorry, but I don't know who Red Skull is. I know he's a Captain America villain, but as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about like move sets. I understand Loki to be a mage type character. I don't know how he's going to fight. Juggernaut we'll remember from the old X-Men versus Street Fighter series. Wolverine, Cyclops, and Storm sort of means that X-Men are coming back, which I don't mind, but I would prefer to have someone like Omega Red rather than Juggernaut. Star-Lord, I'm not impressed by. I've not seen anything from the movies. Obviously, I don't read his comic, and I don't see what Star-Lord is doing. I watched Endgame and I watched some gameplay of the Guardians game, and I'm not happy with it. He just seems so useless. Mr. Fantastic, I'd rather have Super Skrull than Mr. Fantastic, because Super Skrull has the same abilities as Mr. Fantastic and more. Daredevil seems to me to be more like Black Panther, and obviously I'd rather have Black Panther than Daredevil, not because of like any Wakanda reasons, but I don't get playing with a blind guy. What can he do? In any case, on the Capcom side, we have Ryu, Chun-Li, Juri, interesting, Mega Man, Zero, Sigma, Leon, Nemesis. Nemesis in this article is misspelled, which tells you exactly how seriously you should take this article. Morrigan, Felicia, Dante, V, Strider Hero, Grandmaster Mayo, Monster Hunter, Ashura, Hagar, Arthur, Akira, and Phoenix Wright. Okay. Jury Luke, yes, of course, but I would say bring back Sea Viper. I don't think we should have necessarily Mega Man and Zero. I just don't think Mega Man has the same gravitas as Zero. It's just not the same thing. We all saw it in the game. Sigma, of course, bring him back. We need him. Morrigan, of course. I would say for any MVC game, there should be more Darkstalkers representation. So, obviously, in Marvel 3, you had Morrigan, Felicia, and Shenko. Excellent. I think that was really nice. And then if you could bring in people like Dimitri or Jeddah, even bring back Jeddah. Yes, Jeddah was excellent in MVCI. Bring him back. I don't think we really need much more than that. Grandmaster Mail, I never. I know he's from Strider, but I don't understand his use. But I think V is an excellent way of, V is an excellent addition, very good concept, and it also V's inclusion in these leagues kind of gave me an idea of some characters that Capcom can bring back. I mean, as we all know, Capcom has so many games, so many IPs, so many ideas, and they have a wealth of characters to pick from. Strider, yeah, Strider is fine. Akira, I don't get. I think you can have an Arthur. Yes, I think you need to get rid of Arthur and Akira, replace them with someone like Nero. You should be pushing Nero more than Arthur, please. I think we all get Arthur, and I think we're a bit tired of him. Akira, I think she should just be a Street Fighter character from now on. I don't think she needs to be. She needs to be in Marvel. Nothing in particular. But Asura, seeing Asura get love, or at least get recommended by this leak, is interesting and really, really nice. I like what the community did with his mod in MVC. But yeah, Asura, of course. Asura is personally my favorite game, or let's say my favorite Capcom game. But yeah, I would love to see Asura. Phoenix Wright is fine, but I still think that we should be careful with joke characters like Star-Lord, Loki, and Phoenix Wright. If you want to make your game a bit more, more intense, more serious, you want your game to be taken a bit more seriously, I think we should avoid characters like Phoenix Wright. I think that you can make your game a lot more badass if you bring in badass characters and just, even if they're coming from a different decade. The rumor mentions that the game is going for a modern and street vibe. We all know what that means. We've seen how Street Fighter has been promoting Street Fighter 6. That's modern and street. We know what modern and street means. Graffiti and, urban culture, whatever. And that Arc System Works have been reached out to help with the game's development. I don't believe that for even a second. But what I'll say is the things you can add to an MVC. Yeah, we don't need power stones and all those things. Maybe you can have them in a mode. You can have them in a mode where they drop like it used to be, where it's random, and as you play, you can pick them up, can gather them. I think that's a much better thing rather than have it be a character, as they said for MVCI. In addition to these leaks, I have my own recommendation. Leon, Chris, I don't know. I guess, yes, maybe we've had a lot of Chris. Leon will be a nice addition. I think that we should have Alpha Omega Virgil. It's just needed. We need that. DMC5 came out 2019, so even if it's DLC, I don't care. Alpha Omega Virgil, please, just do it for everyone's sake. Trish, nice. Lady would be also cool. I have like Sheva Aloma from Resident Evil 5. You can have her in, but maybe it could be like a cost. And I was thinking of Sieg from Chaos Legion. So that was what I was talking about. Sieg from Chaos Legion has a lot of abilities to do with summoning creatures and, avoiding attacks. Even though he has his own, sword and stuff. Sieg from Chaos Legion will be a fantastic addition. like a la V, so maybe, you don't want to have V and Sig, so instead of that, you can have Virgil, Alpha and Omega Virgil, and Sig. Then I think, yeah, of course, Ultron needs to come back for sure. Wesker, please. Wesker is immortal. Just keep him in the game forever, please. Sea Viper, yes, she needs love. I don't know why they killed the character, or they've not brought her out ever since. But we need Sea Viper back, please, in some fashion. We don't need all these Marisa type characters. We don't need these other people. Just bring back Sea Viper. She's cool, nice moves, unique specials. Then it would be very good to get the. It would be very good to get the Japanese games like the Sengoku Basara characters. Sengoku Basara made a huge splash in the West through its anime, so you could have Date Masamune, what's his name? Nobunaga, of course. Please do that. And Yukimura. Get those 3 characters in. There is nothing wrong with having 50 characters in your game. I don't understand why it's so tough. 50 characters in the game is fine. Get in as many as possible. Jin Saotome, yes. From Cybernauts, bring him back. Kaiji Nosoki, very important. We've not seen him since Tatsunoko versus Capcom All-Stars. Just put him in. I don't think it matters. So those would be my recommendations. On the Marvel side, I don't have many recommendations. I would say probably Black Heart, Omega Red. Just harken back to those earlier times and update them for a new era. But we really don't need Star-Lord. I don't understand Star-Lord. I don't think Star-Lord is that enigmatic or charismatic. And yeah, so just take it back, build a nice series of intros. Since you can't put all the characters in one intro, even though Ultimate Marvel's maximum intro was the best, just putting the characters in, hiding some characters so you can, you don't see them very well. You have to go back 5 years later to find them. Stuff like that. That would be nice, but I like the vanilla intros where you had 4 intros to show off each character or each pairs of character. Then my suggestion for the main boss will be someone like Fin Fang Foom or Burial from Darkstalkers, or even freaking Fortinbras. Why not? Bring Fortinbras and Fin Fang Foom. Or Burial. We've never seen Burial. I don't know if anyone has, but bring him. Let's see how that looks. I can't think of any other crazy Marvel boss. We've already had Apocalypse. We already had Galactus. So I think Fin Fang Foom, just make him more badass, make him bigger, you fuse it with Fortinbras from Onimusha, whatever. That should be cool. Or Burial. Let's see what Burial looks like. Then, arcade mode needs to come back. As you remember, MVCI had no arcade mode. Let's not kid ourselves. Take your time, make the endings. For me, the Tekken style is really nice because they make like a 30-second short animation for them. So I think they should put that much more love into an arcade mode. I don't like the idea of rushing things. Just make it good. Let it come out. Let it stand the test of time. Then, Heroes and Heralds. As I said, you could bring back Heroes and Heralds in some fashion, right? But in addition, those modes like the gems, the power stones, or gems to make the game a bit more wacky, clean. There's nothing wrong with those things. People can play that online, offline. It's fine. It gives the game some longevity. Then going forward, you can have characters. Maybe people can vote on characters. Just general community engagement, support the game, in tournaments and online and stuff like that. I think that it's possible. So those are my recommendations for a new Marvel vs. Capcom 4. These are my thoughts on the MVC4 leak. What do you think of the characters that were mentioned? And do you think that the game will come out anytime soon? I would love it to come out, or at least be announced this year. And, you know, you can have MVC, Street Fighter side by side. Capcom shouldn't just be relying on one game at Evo. They should have 2, 3, or 4. The same way, the same way it's been happening back in those days. So, thank you all for listening. Leave your comments. What would you like to see in the new MVC4? And I'll see you in the next video. Out.